afternoon to everyone here. If you're here at the show and you happen to see Nick Elms after the show, please buy him a drink. Good afternoon to everyone online, or good evening, or good morning tomorrow. I think that about covers everybody, seeing as we have everybody across the globe. Thank you all for joining us here, and welcome to CitizenCon 2016.
Should be streaming at least 7:20.
CitizenCon is essentially a celebration of all of you together, essentially all of us.
I've got it low.
And what a shared group of people with like-minded people can achieve. The seemingly impossible, we make it possible. So here is a video that highlights our journey so far.
Going full screen. Make sure my settings here are good. Yep. All right. I'm so excited. Are you excited?
My name is Chris Roberts, and I would like to build a universe with you.
Yeah.
Before even the campaign, before even Chris's GDC announcement, he had this idea of like wanting to create a place, because he knew that there was going to be a long time in development from the crowdfunding to the actual release of the game. And so, you know, foundationally, very early on, wanted a place for the backers and the fans of Space Sims to be able to get together and talk and share stories about games.
I don't have a second system at the moment.
The haven, you know, to find kindred spirits who share the same love.
The Star Citizen community means, pretty much everything to me. That was why I got involved in this project. And it's what energizes me.
So Ben started as a fan.
When I work with, I think everyone in the company.
I really always wanted to build a game that sort of put me in one of these worlds and let me adventure, but I wanted it to be a way that I sort of went around and really felt like I was in the world. And
I'd love to
so up until then, that was sort of the things that I
would love it.
Being missing from a lot of games.
Chris had this really big vision for a big world, and so while he was still creating that, we were creating the community website, and we were interacting with all of you guys, and it just kept building and building.
The community that Star Citizen has developed over the past 4 years has devoted thousands of hours into making sure that Star Citizen becomes the best game it can possibly be.
It really proves what we can achieve without a publisher.
You've got that brilliant, immediate communication, back and forth.
The backers and the subscribers are with us. They're not in studio with us, but we really feel that they're with us.
And it's been fantastic. It shapes what we're doing every day.
I want one of those last
people look at it, take note of it, and everybody's
news van variant.
We read the forums, we read the comments, and that feedback is also felt.
Just from them playing, it's giving us a tremendous amount of information.
Just sort of sharing stuff almost daily and getting feedback, and you're riffing off what people are sort of responding to. And I think there's an energy that comes with it. They're waiting for cool stuff from you. Their hopes and dreams are with you, and you kind of want to not let them down.
We just want to make the best game we can. We want to make something which has never been made before, and we're
not
fortunate
enough to meet Chris Roberts once. It was pretty awesome.
This is the fourth CitizenCon since we launched in 2012, and it's quite a great opportunity to reflect for a second how far we have come. We started out with 12 people: Chris, Sandy, myself, Ben, and a few other volunteers. After adding Los Angeles and Austin, really ramping it up in 13, we added Manchester in 14, we added Frankfurt in 15, and now we are at 360 developers and support staff in all these locations, all thanks to the community having given us this incredible opportunity. I'm not aware of any other area, whether it's in games or elsewhere, where this has been done and where an organization like this could be built strictly on the basis of this fan and community support, and it's just absolutely great.
We do events with the community all the time. Backers are there, they're hanging out with us. They're telling us how excited they are about what they've just played, how excited they are about the work we've just done, how excited they are about
what you're doing is cool.
They've seen partway in development, right? That's all stuff that the team gets energized and
Gamescom, the demo.
Gamescom this year, on the show floor in the convention, we had hundreds of thousands of people over the course of the week come and see us, and we were exposed to that, and we had people lining up for 2 hours at times just to play Arena Commander, see what was already playable in the game.
There's people all around the country and the world that I would not have had the luxury of meeting and befriending if it wasn't for Star Citizen.
As I followed the game, as I brought it into my streaming career, and got to meet the community, all of it just kind of kept snowballing.
To me, Star Citizen means freedom. Freedom from publishers, freedom in gameplay, freedom for many to live in an online universe they have been wanting for decades.
Test Squadron, it's a fantastic community, and that really is what this is about. We're just a small slice of the greater Star Citizen community.
Once they started being able to walk around, I think they started to really recognize the possibilities of what was happening.
Star Citizen is a chance to finally get to be an astronaut without having to be good at math.
I decided to try out racing tech. I think it was the Mustang Gamma. And I play one-handed, so I have to use voice attack. And it took me a while to get used to it, but eventually, like by the 5th or 6th lap, I was getting the hang of it, and it was really enjoyable. So I'm really happy that Star Citizen allowed people like me to enjoy the game.
We got into a 20-minute dogfight until he was too damaged, and I ended up chasing this guy to about 3 different comrades before he went to Port Olazar. And since it was a neutral zone, the only way to get the kill, I went blades out and went for the ram.
Actually took off in a few different ships and flew to the backside of a moon, and it was actually kind of cool seeing the dark side of the moon, but also when we cruised around and we slowly saw the sun just coming across the horizon, and to me that was kind of a really beautiful moment.
Typically,
I love
in
Star Citizen,
development,
but I haven't gotten to play as much as some of these guys.
Us devs were locked in a room for building for years, right? Without much visibility, without much feedback on really what we're doing. With Star Citizen, we're so open with the community and forward-facing. They see what we do. To get that feedback from people, to get the appreciation of the work and the effort that we're putting in, that in return drives the team.
They show us the good and the bad in gaming development, and we never really seen that before, and they continue to push the boundaries on gaming.
Yes, they do.
With not having a publisher.
That is probably the most exciting reason for me.
It means that we can concentrate on what we think means the most.
They're pushing the boundaries.
We're always striving to build
innovating.
new tools so that the community can communicate and share their feedback and ideas so that we can incorporate them into the game.
Issue Console is a tool that we created to allow our community
They're not making
not just
Call of
submit
Duty
bugs, but ultimately
17.
make Star Citizen better. With the scope and the size of this game, we don't just value the bugs submitted from our backers, we need them. Sometimes they even show up with the marked Bug Smasher A-Bit.
Welcome to Bug Smashers. You ready to smash a bug? Let's get started.
All of us who back this game know that CIG and Chris are doing something special here.
Because the community supports us, we're able to make these excellent shows like Around the Verse.
Welcome to episode 100 of Around the Verse.
Just as a little highlight for you guys, we're going to take a brief look at the Bengal. It's the first ship that Chris revealed for Squadron 42.
There's lore makers, etc., just to show you not just how we're making this game, but kind of dig a little bit more inside of what it takes.
One of our favorite fan video editors, a gentleman named Years100, created the Imagine trailer. He took all of our videos, he cut them together in new and exciting ways. It's one of my favorite ways that the community has influenced not just the development of our game, but the development of our game presentation.
Welcome to the Next Great Starship.
The Next Great Starship was a show that we put together because they actually wanted to get involved and make a ship for Star Citizen. So these great pieces that not only got integrated into our game, but also into our team. We have some of the guys from Next Great Starship are actually on our team today, continuing to push the envelope on every spaceship you see that goes into Star Citizen.
Star Citizen is a dream that thousands and thousands of people across the world share.
The most immersive and diverse space game ever created. A game that can change the way we think about gaming in general.
Everyone has given their thoughts, everyone has given their ideas, and everyone is so friendly.
I would like to thank all of you guys, everyone, potential backers, fans, everyone for the incredible amount of support, because we couldn't have done it without you.
I want to thank the community. You have made this job so rewarding. You have made Star Citizen so much better.
When Star Citizen launches properly, like what someone would consider a commercial release, we're actually, by the time we get there, we know we're going to have millions of people there excited to play and be part of it. I think that's a massive benefit of being open and doing what we do.
Star Citizen is and always will be more than a AAA game. So much more.
In the game.
Please raise your hand if you have made at least one heartfelt connection with another human being while being part of this project in any shape or form.
Yeah.
Please give up a smile
I met some cool people.
for one memory on Star Citizen that has absolutely made your day?
I am a Star Citizen.
I am a Star Citizen.
I'm a Star Citizen.
I'm a Star Citizen.
I'm a Star Citizen.
I'm a Star Citizen.
We are Star Citizens.
I am a Star Citizen.
And I'm proud to call myself a Star Citizen.
We had community members send in videos. I missed it. I was going to send one in. I'll probably still do it anyway just because, even though it won't be here.
It's an amazing journey that we've been on, and it's only going to continue. That reminds me from last year, and I had a bit of a rough time, and I also had a bit of a rough time this year, and I would personally like to thank, I'm going to cry again, God damn it. I would personally like to thank all of the community, because if it weren't for you all, I don't know how I could do my job.
Sandy Gardner, for those who don't know, has a lot invested in this, considering her husband is Chris Roberts. And
I think I've mentioned this before, but it is the first gaming community that I've ever been a part of. And I'm biased to say that it's the best gaming community ever. Okay. And now my mind's gone completely blank. I would like to give a shout out to Rico for creating barcitizen.sc.
If anyone's watching, I want to make sure
I remember earlier in the year, Alexis and I sat around and I said, I really want to, because there's 1,000 people here, but we have hundreds of thousands of fans all over the world in every single country. And so Alexis and I came up with Bar Citizen, and we kind of had to make it select because, we had so many. In Frankfurt, give it up for Frankfurt, they had like 200 and something people respond. So we had to do 3 Bar Citizens. So Rico has created barcitizen.sc. Within 3 weeks, we've already had 27 Bar Citizens around the world. Some of them going on tonight. So if you'd like to attend one of those or host your own so that everybody around the world can hang out together, then check that out. Oh, no, okay. Sorry. Oh. In other community news, the referral program that we launched last year, we've actually had 2 fans who have got 1,042 new backers into the game. And both of them receive a Million Mile High Club that they can invite their friends to. The first one, I think we mentioned him last year at the live stream. His name is AlphaCast, and he's from France. And then the other one, Shwimi, is from the USA. So give it up for those 2.
Good job, guys. And if you aren't a Star Citizen, why not? On my YouTube channel, when this goes...
Before I hand over to Chris, I would like to thank all of our volunteers. Where are our volunteers? Can you raise your hands?
If you're interested in getting into Star Citizen, you can click the link and get 5,000 UEC.
All of our streamers who have been streaming for the past 3 days, where are you?
I think I get 5,000 UEC as well.
And then an appreciation for all of our staff who have been working around the clock. Chris, would come home pretty much most nights this week at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'd ask him how it's going.
You want to do it.
And yes, exactly. So props to all of our staffs and our contractors from around the world. Your support, and support from all of you fans basically encourages us to keep raising the bar. And so now, without further ado, I would like to introduce Chris Roberts.
Chris Roberts. The man, the myth, the legend. And turn this up a little. Hope I'm not blasting it all out, but if anybody's watching, hopefully it's not too loud. Gonna check again.
Really, I should applaud you. I mean, we made that video for you guys because that is genuinely the way that everybody at any one of our studios and everyone that is at partners like Behavior or Turbulent
about the same
feel, because we would not be here. We would not have the opportunity of building the game we are, pushing the boundaries we are without everyone that's in this community, in this room, that's in the community around the world. So, you know, I'm a Star Citizen, and thank you guys so much, because you guys are fucking
You're
awesome.
welcome, Chris. You are welcome. I'm glad to be a Star Citizen.
I love you guys, and I'm pretty sure everyone else that's working on this game loves you guys. So you are our secret sauce. You are what makes us go.
Like I said, this guy's really down to earth. I mean, I've only met him once, so it's not like we hung out for a long time and we're best buddies.
Because you know,
I just met him the one time, but he was so humble, took time with everyone to talk to us.
And are excited by what you're doing, and that is, if anyone does anything creative or actually
pictures,
doing anything, that
sign
is really
autographs.
important.
I've got his autograph up
you
there.
give us that, so thank you so
somewhere.
much for that.
Maybe not up there. Up there?
Anyway.
No, I don't have it up at the moment. It's somewhere.
So as a bit of a reflection, because I look back. I mean, sometimes you're so busy working and just what are we doing tomorrow? What are we doing tomorrow? You don't ever get a chance to go and say, you know what? It's amazing what we've achieved already during the past 4 years, and what we're going to do in the future is going to be even better. But I mean, I look back on it, and I look at that video, and I go, this is incredible. I mean, we have
right there we see January 2013.
There's so many connections being built. There's
SC production begins. That means January 2017 we will be at 4 years.
Just a fraction of what's
saying that we're
game,
at 5 years right now. They're basing it on this 2012 number.
Seeing Twitch streams,
and that would still only be 4 years right now.
That looks cool, and I can't believe that all these people spent an hour trying to find someone stranded on the far side of a moon somewhere or an asteroid field. And generally, most gaming communities tend to sort of shoot each other and troll each other. And I know we have a little bit of that in our community, but I think I would say more often than not we have a community that helps each other out, and they help each other play the game, understand the game. I mean, they do a much better. You guys do a much better job than us in terms of actually educating on how to play the game. We're going to get better at that. But we're busy building sort of some of the core tech and everything. But because of you guys, we've sort of grown. So looking back at it, if you take a look at it here, I mean, this is sort of a timeline we thought it'd be interesting to lay out. Obviously we launched 4 years ago tomorrow, back in October of 2012. I look a little younger there, by the way. It's a little bit like the US presidency, I think. You sort of age a lot as you get into it. And so, obviously we got the money, but then you've got to get the offices,
people like to throw out 5 years.
People, so our first office opened in January of 2013 in Austin.
They did the crowdfunding October 2012. That means it's,
then
like
we
you said, just now 4
opened the LA
years.
offices in April of that year, where we had, I think, about 5 or 6
next
people.
year will be 4 years
We managed to get the Hangar module out in 2013, which was actually quite an achievement, considering we were still just opening offices and had a very small number of people. But that was, the GamesCon at 2013, which I think would always be a very special memory for me, because it was our sort of first event with all you guys in person. And, it was pretty amazing.
I love me
But at the end of 2013, we had 48 people, which is a lot less than we have now. Let's see if it moves. I know, Eric.
It seems like this is always playing their live shows.
Yeah, red one. There you go. Okay.
That's funny.
So and then we're lucky enough to have my brother and some other key, old friend. I mean, I have Nick Elms, who was working on this presentation, who's our creative director of Foundry 42. So Nick and myself and my brother and Phil Meller all grew up together, and then there's a few other key members of Foundry 42 that are here that we've known for years. We worked on Star Lancer together, so, for instance, Derek Sr. and later on Paul Jones, and they're all here around the audience, so get a drink with them later on. But we opened Magic. We're very lucky to have them come aboard in January, and it was mostly because of your guys' support that I felt comfortable enough to go to my brother, who was he was at
I think you can hear my daughter right now.
Doing
she
really
knows
well,
one
and they all
volume
had
level, and that's
very safe, secure
all
jobs
the way up.
in big corporate America. And
she's 6.
I said, "Hey, you want to come and do something a bit more risky, but potentially more fun?" And they said, "Well, there's only so many years you can make Lego games," and they were lucky enough to get him aboard. So we worked really hard to get the arena commander out that year, which was a combination between the UK team coming on board and the US teams working on it. And by the end of 2014, we had 161 people. So that's a pretty, from 48 to 161 is pretty big. And we got 1.0 out by December of that year, which had a whole bunch of ships. And the, like I said, the dogfight model was out in the middle of June. And we started to do the first performance capture for Foundry 42 in April of 2015. Let's see if this will advance now. Oops, hang on. Well, that's the TV screen. It's not advancing for some. What's going on? Here we go. All right, they've advanced it. I think they're advancing.
It's a good thing he knows how to code games because he doesn't know how to make slides.
I don't know why the advance
move.
key's not working, but the switch the screen key works for some reason. So anyway, and then in 2015, besides shooting Squadron 42, we got the Frankfurt office, and they've made massive contributions.
And they've done some cool stuff out of Frankfurt. That's where they're doing a lot of the programming and system stuff. They got their hands on a
Brian
bunch
Chambers
of
representing from Frankfurt here.
CryEngine guys.
So if you see him with his kind of rocker hair hanging out, he's as cool in person as he looks. We got 2.0 out at the end of last year, which was a huge milestone because that had the 64-bit large world, multi-cruise ships, and a lot of the beginnings of the core tech that's going to power Star Citizen.
Started so late.
The end of last year, we had 258 people again because
ending at 5.
You guys. And interesting enough, Manchester, so our Foundry 42 officers become the biggest and still ends up being. Then of June of this year, we got 2.4 out, which is the first iteration of Star Citizen Alpha that has some level of persistence. And that
I wonder if he's putting this down for posterity, saying, okay, this is what we did on these times for the naysayers. Because all the fans already know all this stuff.
Keep his items and
we've kind of
eventually
championed his cause many times. Many of us
cool.
are ex-Wing Commander Privateer fans who love his games.
Which had sort of an extra sort of spawning area, Grim Hex,
we don't think he's the answer to all things game development, but man,
when they try to get out of it.
I love the fact that he wants to innovate. I'll just put it that way. He wants to innovate. He's doing things that everyone says can't be done, and he's making them happen. And I love people like that. I'm drawn to people
Eric, can you advance
who
that? Please.
Like to try and accomplish what others say can't be accomplished.
So today we have 363 people, which is an amazing amount. I know. So those are the numbers split between the places. This is all because of you. We are entirely crowdfunded, and it's your guys' enthusiasm and support and everyone out there that's watching this and everyone that's backed the game that are enabling us to basically build this game of definitely my dreams. I think most of the developers working on it, and I'm pretty confident your guys' dreams, in a way that we're unfettered
definitely
and we're trying to just go for it.
Game of my dreams.
To quote Shia LaBeouf, just do it!
I've given them plenty of money so far to make this game.
Anyway,
Which full
sorry,
disclosure,
I saw that video recently.
I'm a Star Citizen. I've given them plenty of money
CitizenCon stuff
towards making this game successful, which is why I'm really excited about it,
I
and
won't
I
do
want
the
it to
rest
be
of
successful.
this stuff where you get kind of a bit crazy and look around, but anyway.
I have a vested interest.
But that's because of you guys.
But I didn't go into it blindly for those who watch this later. I knew I was getting into when I helped a crowdfunded game.
Of what makes Star Citizen
I knew I could lose the money I put into
it. It's in the DNA from the very, very beginning of the project.
But I'm positive at this point that I'm not going to lose the money I put into it.
You saw in the video, Dave Haddock, who's been with us from the very beginning. Before we even announced Star Citizen and Squadron 42, we started with a website which was basically, hey, if you love space games, you love PC games, at that time, no one was paying any attention to that. No one cared about it. Now, obviously, if you take a look, everyone's doing it. It's trendy now. You're a AAA game. They're doing a Call of Duty that's set in space. So, it's like we've become mainstream. But back then there wasn't, and we said, it was basically
Call of Duty Infinite.
I miss this kind of game. I love it. That's the game I used to make.
Call of Duty.
I sort of felt like, well, that was the whole impetus of Star Citizen, and we started with saying, well, it's about the people. And I look back on it, and I looked at what I saw with WC News and the fact that there was still a community that was passionate about Wing Commander long after the last real Wing Commander game had sort of come out. I mean, it's sort of a dormant property sitting at EA, and I was like, I love this stuff. I think other people love this stuff. And we started with a site, and we had 30,000 people sign up before we had even announced,
I really missed sci-fi games. I really wanted there to be
10,000 on the first day, which was
so excited about Star Citizen when I saw it, because I was like, yes!
The DNA of the project started
Privateer
with the
is still one of my favorite games ever, but sci-fi is one of my favorite genres,
and I think
period,
if you look at where we are and what we're able to do, I think that is 100% due to the community. And so one of segue for that would be here. Oh, that's finally suddenly one, unless Eric's really good at hitting a button when I hit a button. You guys have always been in the community, right? You make what makes it special, and it's a very different way, I think, to make games. And we've always focused on creating tools to do that. So, like even where we couldn't have friends or you getting together necessarily in the game, we created organizations for the website and ways that people can be discussing on forums and chatting and all the rest of the stuff. And it's important to us to have the ability for you to not only interact in the game, but also interact outside the game and create connections. And I think you could see from the video, and I know you guys all have stories. I mean, I'm amazed. I see everyone with their organization. Everyone's got their own organization custom shirt, and they get their own get-togethers, and there's deep lore and history behind a lot of stuff. And I mean, I'm just blown away by it, and I think it's fantastic, and I think it's really key. So for us, it's very important to put the tools in the hands of you guys. So, Eric, I'm pressing a button. Make me look good. No, that's not the right one.
I'm going to check one more time in chat just to see if anyone's in there.
All right, okay.
Make sure.
So, I guess there's in the I thought I had one more
card. A couple people watching, one person watching.
You can tell that the PowerPoint crashed. That's why we were a bit late here. We were trying to get this done, and I didn't do a proper run through. So I'm going to hand you over, because I think I had a lot of questions, say at Gamescom, about what's happening with organizations 2.0, and there's a lot of different stuff. So we've actually thought about it long and hard, and we sort of decided that even though we'd said we were going to do this thing in typical Star Citizen fashion, we need to do this thing. And we want to make sure that we give you guys tools.
Let me get back here.
in such a way that you'll be able to interact and communicate in-game, out-of-game, in a sort of fluid way that is very indicative of today's
Maybe they're going to show something on Orgs 2.0. I'd like to see
so
what
I'm going to hand you over to John Erskine,
with that one.
Who's our VP of Online Operations and Publishing, and Benoit, who is the Chief Technical Officer of Turbulent, who are amazing. They build our web platform. They're up nominated for an award for the Adobe Cutting Edge Award, and you guys should all vote for them.
That's
but I'm going to hand you over to them, and they're going to tell you about what
Adobe
we have in the works
for
you
awesome.
guys.
I'm going to go find that and vote for them.
On the community front.
Vote for Turbulence.
Thank you. Well, hey, it's really a thrill to be here with you today.
I heard noises.
It's exciting to be at
Am I hearing things now?
Another CitizenCon event.
I don't know. Am I hearing
We're going to switch over to some other slides here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing on the platform side.
Tell us.
I'm going to continue with the theme that we've begun here today to talk about engagement and sharing. If we look at the vision that we have on our platform, as Chris mentioned, this is something that's been core to the concept of Star Citizen even before the project was formally announced. We want to share this experience with you, and we want to share content to you, and we want to get feedback from you. And so this idea of connecting with our community and then allowing communities to connect with each other is literally the core of Star Citizen. And I have to tell you personally, it's really amazing to work with someone like Chris who understands this in the core of his DNA. Because I have worked at other companies where you'd have to pitch these kinds of ideas to somebody who might be kind of skeptical, really. With Chris, a lot of times it's the other way around. we may sort of come with some ideas, and he'll say, well, guys, I don't think you're thinking big enough here. So I'm going to share an example of that with you today. Our goal from the platform is to be able for you to experience the game. You need to be able to do basic things like get the game and buy the game and download the game and patch the game.
That cup is amazing.
But we also want you to be able to connect with other people, both inside the game itself, but also in the real world. Because as we look at how technology has moved today, there's less of a distinction between the virtual world and the real world, and every day those walls are coming down further and further. So that's really a core vision that we have on the platform.
Part of me wants to hear what he has to say. The other part of me wants to say, get on with it.
We've had the opportunity already
stuff.
to build some really cool and revolutionary tools on our platform, and we've shared them with the community of Star Citizen. We have some traditional things like forums.
The news outlets as well as
forums have been around for a long time. We've been able to
we
build
already know all this
some
stuff.
things
we know
that
about the content,
we believe advance traditional
the
things like
hub,
most online games have some sort of guild and grouping system, and we have our organization system. I think it's unique that we released the organization system so early in the development process, and people were able to create organizations almost 3 years ago, I believe, maybe 2.5 years ago. And I have some stats on the next slide, but we have an amazing number of people and an amazing number of organizations already. We've been able to build things like the community hub, so it's easy to share content on our site. We've been able to do things in the game, like having the rental system and being able to use your UEC to do things in the game. And we've been able to do some things that are really unique, like the issue council, where people are able to actually actively participate in the process of reporting bugs and verifying bugs and prioritizing bugs and doing all that. And I know from talking with other developers, they're very jealous of this system because, first of all, they don't have the technical piece, and second, most people don't have fans who care enough to actually be that involved. So I think that's a very revolutionary tool that we've already built. So thank you for your involvement there.
Show us the new stuff. Show us the new stuff.
We had some stats in the video, but I'll come back to a couple of these to talk about engagement. On our forums today, which are pretty traditional forums, we've had almost 500,000 unique threads. We've had 7 million people actually write a comment to those threads, and 300 million views of those threads. Those are incredible numbers. It's a huge community, and it's a huge amount of engagement. And in the organization system, as you can see, we have more than 40,000 or almost more than 40,000 organizations today, which is staggering. And almost 200,000 unique people are members of organizations, and many people are members of more than one organization. So it's very, very interesting, and it's a very, very, very powerful message that people are incredibly engaged in the tools that we've built. So, last year at CitizenCon, we announced and launched the Star Map, which was, super cool.
I'm not in an org at the moment. I was, but decided to go.
And like I said, that was a good example of how
what I want to do in the game.
We sort of gave people an opportunity to vote on things that they thought were the biggest priority.
And like that in the game.
We had some ideas about what we wanted to build, and Star Map wasn't necessarily at the top of our list, but it was at the top of your list. And so we changed some of our priorities around, and we came up with a plan, and then we found out that we weren't thinking big enough. So we made something that's very, very revolutionary to be able to have such an amazing tool on the web to explore the game universe in such visual fidelity. And so after we launched the Star Map, Benoit and I started looking more at our roadmap and our priorities to decide what we should do next. And we had some ideas about an evolutionary advancement to some of the systems that we have today. And in January, we presented some of our plans to Chris. We really liked the plans. And we talked about it more with Chris, and he said, well, I don't think you're thinking nearly big enough. And so we went away, and we sort of digested this feedback, and Benoit and I started to think, well, with this much blank canvas, what would we do? And so I'm thrilled to turn it over to Benoit today, and he's going to tell you what we've been working on since the second pitch to Chris.
The new stuff. Woohoo! Stars. Ooh, the Spectrum. That's
Hello.
The in-game internet. The in-game
This
web.
is the second time Chris does this to me, and I need to come in front of you guys to show you what we're working on. I'm pretty excited to be able to show you what we came up with based on the "you're not thinking big enough" statement. And so when we presented Orgs 2.1 to Chris, which was basically an informed system for your guild,
their own web inside
we quickly saw that the feature set that we needed to be way bigger than just a traditional form engine. Also, we didn't want to just build a form engine for the sake of it, which is, it's still a pretty old medium. So we wanted to basically start reinventing that. You can switch. And so we came up with Spectrum. The name was coined just as naturally as that because we felt that it represented that it was already in the lore, and so it was the perfect way to sort of name this tool. And so what Spectrum is a real-time web application that offers all community communications in Star Citizen. So that's the high level. Now, to present it, I need to deepen into it. Now, this is the result of almost a year of work and labor of love from the Turbulent team, who has been iterating and iterating on that, looking at what's already there. And this is what we came up with. And so it's modeled after contemporary communication platforms. I'm sure you guys use many of those. And so we did not start to reinvent things from the ground up. We really took something and tried to make it as usable as possible based on what existed. We used modern technologies to build it. That means we did not go the classic route of building an application in a low-level language. We went with web technologies that can now be on the desktop, that can allow for rapid development, which was already a groundbreaking moment.
If you're just joining me or
to be able
me at
to
any
change
point in
the
this,
stack and go faster.
Since I started.
And then when we pitched the idea,
Star
it came
Citizens,
really quickly that this tool could become also solve a major problem in the game, which was
so this is live.
How do we differentiate between in fiction and out of fiction? We want to bring you guys, like your friends at work,
want to be able to
talk to him. How do we differentiate between that and somebody who's actually in the game? And so Spectrum
just to capture
becomes a natural conduit for that.
To things that
now,
I saw.
Focus on usability. It's the in-game UIs
starting out kind of slow because they're kind of going over all the details
and
stuff.
Super sci-fi-ish. Now, in order to make
the
real world stuff really work,
then
we need something that's more usable. Material design,
like the really awesome
needs to
stuff.
focus on that first, and community. And that was the sticking point. Is that we. Since the beginning, the vision from Chris was always that you don't need to run your guild off-site. You don't need to run your organization off-site and use off-site tool. We can offer all of these tools in the platform. And so you can just hit the ground running.
that extra element.
And so
especially
we want you to be able to have your home
in
the Spectrum as your organization and be able to customize it.
You guys will watch it on YouTube. Hello. Hello, YouTube.
And so the first part of the module is, of course, chat. And so if we're going to hit chat running, we're not going to build a standard chat like we did a few years ago for the live chat module. We need a rich chat. We need an application that's real time. We need a chat where you can embed medias from external sites or from RSI sources. We need you to be able to react to comments and words that are being written by your friends or by your coworkers or anybody you're playing a game with. And so just on the chat level, we really wanted to get something that was modern and usable. Now, in terms of form engine, we needed forums. We knew we needed that. We didn't want to abandon this medium, which was so crucial to building this community. And so, but we wanted to modernize it. And so, in the same application, we're going to bring you guys some brand new forums. Now, what you're looking at now, and I'll show you a bit later, is the light team. And this is part of why we wanted to focus on usability first, because if we make everything dark, it's really difficult to use and it gets a strain on people using it. So there is an option to keep it light, and that's what I'm showing here. And so the forum engine is also real time. When new threads come up, you're going to see notifications come in. It's a brand modern take on this, on how forums can be rapid and fast and not the old school model that we've had.
Yeah. I like it.
Now, to go further than that, we need more types of discussions in forum. We need to be able to have Q&As. We need to be able to have live threads on live topics that are happening now. And, of course, classic threads, which will just, stay there forever. And so what is Spectrum? Well, first, it's private messaging and chat and forums. And so we needed to solve private messaging because I'm sure you guys have used the private messaging on the forums currently. Everybody's pretty much in agreement there. We need a private messaging solution. And so Spectrum implements that. We needed presence. And so to be able to tell online if your friends are in the game or even just in Spectrum, so we needed to be able to have presence displayed on there.
That's pretty cool.
Notifications and alerts.
It's almost like,
so if you're watching a thread, you wrote a thread, somebody mentions, you need to be able to know about that. That encourages this flow of information across the board.
That
so
notifications
were core to that.
To be honest with you, the presence piece reminds me of Steam.
Of course, all of these features, they're awesome, but they need to be sandboxed. And so for each of your orgs in Spectrum, you will have access to all those features. And so as you build up your organization, you'll have access directly to features to build your own chat lobbies, your own forums, your own notifications based on that. And
this
so you'll be able to switch context,
for a while.
create a group with your friends, access it in there, create a lobby.
Now they're obviously calling
it
the Spectrum system, where you can actually build your own.
And so
chats,
what is Spectrum?
Forums.
Well, it's all of these things.
You won't have to have outside forums.
Modern chat, modern forums. It's private group messaging, online presence, notifications and alerts, and namespaces.
Outside of the actual.
And this is the core of what this new app is.
Sorry.
It's also
you won't
voice.
Have to go to an outside source
because
to
we
build your
need to
forums
have
and all
voice
that
transmission.
Stuff. You should have everything. Wow.
And so you can advance more. And so on the voice part, we needed to be able to carry voice outside of the game because as everybody knows and you have experience playing games,
voice into the game.
You want voice to be carried by an external program and not by the game
client.
So we don't
have
when the game client has an issue, well, you need to be able to talk to your friends and
they're building everything into the game.
And so Spectrum is going to be your lifeline for that. But of course, Chris wasn't going to settle with that.
It's going to make it so easy to do.
We can't have non-spatialized voice in Star Citizen.
To just keep up with your friends.
Spectrum will be able to send voice datagrams to the game and have it be spatialized and treated inside the game for additional treatment and immersion. And so that's going to be the ultimate goal. And so when you put all these pieces together, you get an interface that looks a bit like this. You've got your top-notch sidebar, party system, voice channels, voice chat, notifications, all into one. And so,
oh man, they're like building it all into one thing.
This is what the dark team looks like. We can switch to the light team in a pinch. And so you'll be able to swap back and forth whenever you want.
I like it.
And so that's the baseline of the interface. You can see that we've kept it really, we use modern stuff, and that shows through the technology we're using.
I mean, again, create your org
of course,
on RSI.
This needs to go everywhere. So it's a web app.
In RSI.
It's a desktop application.
And you don't have to worry
about... And like Chris likes to say, Spectrum is the launcher. And it's also going to be available on mobile and tablets because, you need to be able to keep up with your friends when they're in the game and you're at work.
Got to be able to play hooky.
Now, in terms of game integration, this platform is similar to other platforms that exist. The advantage that we have is that we can go deeper with game integration. Spatialized voice is one example, but there's more examples to that.
Because a lot of people want to do something, they want to have a good layout.
So you can manipulate them from there.
Cool thing, but they don't want to have to keep up with
presence. That means
building
you're
a
not just
website,
online,
doing all that kind of
you're
stuff.
On part That's a big difference.
There's a lot of people with great ideas
so you'll
that
be able
don't
to
have the
see
web skills and things
statuses from the game straight in the Spectrum UI.
And this is going to really allow them to build something that's
party
really
management
connected to the universe.
Is where we ultimately want to be able to get
and
so
make
that
it easy for
during
them.
the day you're planning out a game session, you create your party inside the Spectrum, get your friends in, you've got your chat lobbies, your voice lobbies already set up for your party. When you get to your house at night to play, you just, boom, join the party, it's already created and it's ready to go. And so,
nice.
Location-aware lobbies will allow us to basically have, voice
I'm
lobbies
starting
and
to
chat
see why
lobbies
these
that
guys are up for the
based
award.
on in-game locations. So just by being in a location, we'll create this dynamic lobby, and you'll be able to use it. You can see Spectrum as the real-world arm to the universe that Chris is building. And so when game events occur and you need to be notified on your mobile or whatever, Spectrum will be the transmission for those, and
because you can jump
so
in
you'll
with
be
your
able to
friends and say,
receive
hey,
them
what
this
you
way.
guys doing? You need someone?
There's
What should I
be
do?
also Spectrum will be available inside an overlay on the game, so you'll be able to see who's talking, voice, change your voice channels, open the full Spectrum UI, and chat with your friends directly from the game.
That's cool.
And so it really becomes the in and out universe communication bridge for the game. And so now this was cool. I showed you some screens, talked a bit about it, but I'd like to show you where we're at. We're not ready to ship just yet, but I can demo the interface that we have on our development environment that we call Future, because we're hipsters like that. And you'll see that it's all generated with text from Alice in Wonderland, because it's our test generator, generates forum threads and channels and all that stuff. But I can just show you a bit where we are and where we're going to be there in a few weeks.
Show us. Show us.
1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. So this, what I'm showing off here is just a live super dev interface for Spectrum. And so right now I'm logged in as me. I've got access to chat lobbies. Now hopefully the internet is still up on this Mac and I can still reach it. Yes. All right. And so this is live chat. Now I only have the light theme on this version, but for every chat lobbies that I can visit, I can bookmark them directly in the left bar. The left bar will be the way you can track all types of content, whether it's a lobby, whether it's a thread. Nice. So in this case, I'm looking at a chat lobby. I can have rich embeds in it. I can
you have access to some
different
of the stuff
user
on the
interfaces.
forums,
I can send private
cool.
messages straight from this interface
this is
directly. I can
it's
react.
More clean, it's more
now,
crisp.
You can imagine that right now we only have these default icons.
It's definitely a better option.
But we're going to have some cool icons coming up. And obviously, as part of the customization that we plan, you guys will be able to upload your own sheets of emojis and emoticons and change your own upvote icons to customize.
Nice.
And so I can, from this lobby, this is pretty cool, I can jump to my Planet Express org, and then there you go, I'm inside it. But the key here is that the left sidebar allows me to balance between RSI community items, like the recruitment chat, for example, or the general forums of my org. And so I just need to bookmark them on the left, and that's it, I get access to them. Now, going down to these threads, I can just jump to any thread, really. And then this is the forum engine. It's a lot more modern. It's way faster, too, because it's real time. So when new reply comes up, I get a notifications for it. I can upvote. I can react on any of those. But also, what's pretty cool is that we've flattened the list into a single list. So there's no more paging, going from page to page. Just scroll down the list. And one thing that's pretty cool is if we look at Leanne Jacoby here, who's answered Mr. Carey, I can mouse over
just scroll all the way down.
And then, what did he say? I can click on it, I can just jump straight to it and navigate inside the thread dynamically this way, giving us a lot more control. In terms of editing features, when you reply or comment on any of those replies, like I can just jump here, this is a bar that's directly within. I can keep on browsing while I'm editing. The editing feature is based on blocks, and so I can add different blocks, move them around, and compose my own. And so this is pretty cool because it's not just text and markdown, funky markdown. I can actually insert the blocks and move them and publish. And of course, when I do publish, if I was watching,
I mean, basically they created their own content management system.
Then I will get, sorry about that.
RSI.
I will get a notifications for it directly.
I mean,
and so
that's what it
the notification panel becomes my
content
follow
management system.
Button, and so I can just follow that.
That's
I can
pretty
also
cool.
bookmark a thread, and so then it shows up in my left bar. So you can imagine, big Katamari going out, and I want to follow that. I just put notifications on, bookmark it, and then it'll actually show up on the left and light up when new replies are coming in.
Yeah.
Private messaging, of course, I was chatting with John earlier, so I was right here. I can actually check this out, and then I'm right in there, get my notifications for my private messaging and settings. And so this is the state of Spectrum right now. This is where we're going. We're a few weeks out from this first release, which will already allow you to create chat lobbies and forums and full control over that. And then if I can jump back to the presentation.
He said a few weeks.
Here's what we're thinking about.
That's soon.
Okay, so this soon trademark in this case is pretty close. We're thinking before the end of the year, we want to have this first release out because we want this in your hands so you can tell us what you like or dislike about it.
By end of year.
And that's typical
he
Star
said a few
Citizen.
weeks,
We need your feedback to be able to compile.
I mean, we are getting close to the end of the year,
a few weeks, but the other one.
We're more than a few weeks out from the end of the year.
So in this software release, so it's browser only, but it's going to have forums and chat, notifications, private messaging, and friends. One thing that I did not show, I can just jump back, is search. So search is one thing that we wanted to have directly embedded in it, and so all your communities will be searchable right away. And so you'll be able to jump to threads or chats that have been logged. That's one thing I want to say to moderators, community moderators that are looking at me right now going like, ah! It's all logged and searchable. Public channels are. All the org stuff is yours.
I'm always hitting my microphone.
And so
it's like my trademark.
And the next update after that is we want to hook it up directly with the game presence so you can already see when your friends are playing the game. And that will create the first bridge with the game so that everything is connected. And the customization options I named, like being able to add your custom emojis, your custom upvote buttons, that'll be in that second release. And then after that, we're moving to a 6 to 8 week cycle for all of the remaining functions. So launcher, in-game overlay, voice support, and mobile. And so we're going to be working on Spectrum quite a bit. And this is only the beginning because, as you can see, you can already imagine how we can bring down the organization system management in it or add more features to it. And so this is going to become a really important tool that you'll have. Since you'll have the installer and you'll have the launcher, you'll have Spectrum installed. And so that's it. That's what I want to show you guys.
Pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I like the new system they've come up with. I like it.
John is not going on stage again.
I don't know if I'm glad I've had to wait this long for it, but I really like it. What are we seeing here? UEE, Militia Mobilization Initiative. Ooh, what happened? No.
One year ago, our lives were shattered. But we have not forgotten.
Never forget. It's gotta be a vandal attack. Sounds like a Cylon.
United in the face of the Vandal threat, we have dedicated ourselves to creating the universe we have always wanted. A safe and secure UEE for all.
Those horrible Vandal.
Thanks to your continued support in the sale of war bonds, the UEE is proud to announce the Militia Mobilization Initiative, authorizing the sale of certain military-grade ships to ensure that civilian militias are properly equipped to defend the Empire in times of need. We will ensure a brighter future for our children. At the forefront of that effort is RSI's newest ship, the Polaris, combining devastating firepower and searing speed. The Polaris-class corvette is effective against a wide variety of aggressors and scenarios, from delivering humanitarian aid to tactical operations. The Polaris's ability will make it an essential part of any fleet for years to come. But the Polaris is only the tip of the spear for this grand initiative.
Hello everybody, this is my little girl.
A full line of other ships are now available for a limited time.
Both into Star Citizens.
And to support faster mobilization and operational effectiveness, fleet formations are being offered in discounted, pre-designed ship teams. So stand in solidarity with the brave men and women who put their lives on the line and join them in protecting the dream that is the UEE. Answer the call today.
I'll let my little girl watch for a little bit. Come on. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Okay, now I'm gonna watch the show though.
All right. So anyway, you probably already know because it's been on Reddit. We sort of released some RSI Polaris Corvette, and I think yesterday was the best day we ever had in Star Citizen. And I mean, the one thing I do want to say though, because I know this sort of sometimes is
I'm gonna help my daughter to be able to hear.
It is your. No one needs to get a big fancy spaceship or anything else. If you spend $40 or $45 and do it, that's all you need. But the way I look at it is, this
positive.
Getting a Corvette or whatever, a Constellation, is really just supporting development. I mean, that's kind of the way it looks like. And so for me, it should only be if someone's saying, you know what, I really like what these guys are doing. I want to support it. I love the process, and I'm there, and they're giving me a cool ship in the process. That's the way it should be. Nothing more, nothing less. Because you will absolutely be able to earn everything in game playing, right?
Come around the other side. Come around the other side.
But it is a cool ship. Anyway, just let you know. And you go.
All right.
So we'll get off that. But
thank
you for everyone that's bought a.
Told you I'm good at hitting the mic.
It's what makes us go. It's what allows us to build the things that we're doing. And thank you to anyone that supported it, whether you've gotten a tiny little thing or a really big thing.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
so I'm going to click. There we go. Oh, look at that. So we're going to I'm going to go through a bit boring update stuff now, and then we're going to show you some cool stuff.
Better?
So first, Squadron 42.
Better.
All
right.
Sort of tell you kind of where we're at on it.
Here, sit up here so you can see better.
Like other things, like we just showed you Spectrum. And by the way, the one thing, just
you're not going to go
segue back to where we were on that.
We're going to watch.
Benoit and John did mention is that the goal when
we got people out there watching this
Spectrum for the first time,
28 chapters equivalent to 60 missions.
Next generation launcher, which has the new patch, which will not be downloading gigs of data all the time whenever we do a small test. Which I think would help people out. I mean, if you got fast internet, maybe it's not such a big deal, but with data caps and all the rest of stuff. And it's also frustrating even for us when we're patching on the dev side. It's like you change one file and suddenly there's at least 2 gigabytes. So the new system's really
40 distinct ships. Look at that. 40 distinct ships.
So
over 20 hours of performance capture. Wow. Story arc with 1,255 pages of dialogue.
So I'm not going to give you any specific dates.
Handcrafted environments. Awesome.
But our platform team's much more reliable than me. I'm an optimist. You have to be an optimist in this business.
It's kind of low.
So anyway,
speaking
of optimistic,
hopefully y'all can hear.
Squadron 42.
Check one more time here.
It's significantly grown from when it was first pitched in 2012.
We're watching.
So to sort of get you where we're landing at, because we're content and sort of feature locked now, we have what we call chapters, which is chapters in the story. There's 28 of them in Squadron 42, Episode 1.
We're watching,
which is equivalent to probably about 60 plus missions. Most of our chapters
enhanced
are
with
multi-part,
procedural
so
tech.
if you compare it to a Wing Commander mission, they're
Systemic
usually 2 to 3
space
missions
FPS
in length. So there's flying
Play
around,
your
down
way,
on
stealth to
foot,
brute
or
force.
talking to people, all sorts of stuff. Obviously it has an A-list cast that you all know about. There's a few people we haven't told you about that will be a surprise that we will unveil later on.
That is cool.
Because we have some other people that are part of it, which is pretty cool. We have 340 speaking roles in it, which is insane because most movies have maybe 30 or 40 speaking roles. And state-of-the-art facial scanning and mocap. We showed a little bit. I had a 10 for the chairman. We talked a bit about that.
Fully systemic, 24-hour
really
schedules,
great strides on that.
plus
And the goal is
subroutines,
to be
simultaneous
as good or better than
secondary
anything else you've
objectives.
seen out there.
Awesome.
Of over 20 hours of performance capture,
That's
which
just
is not a small amount,
seems
and
like
it gives
a
you an
cool
idea of
AI thing.
the play amount you're going to get when you've got that much of sort of
Seems like a cool AI thing.
Action stuff.
What, baby?
Dave and Will, who are
no, it's not. It's at a studio.
Where are you, Dave and Will? Hands up. Over there.
Can you hear him?
Incredibly talented. Wrote 1,255 pages and have been steadfastly there with me last year and this year shooting. And I have to say, they're absolute rock stars. I mean, we were, I think we only just finished writing all the stuff for Squadron 42 earlier this year when we were doing the final shoot.
Watch your arm, please. You hit the mic.
But it's I think
Squadron
really
42.
Fantastic story, so I can't wait for you guys to actually experience it and play it. We have 40 distinct ships from fighters to dreadnoughts. There's a lot that you guys, I mean, there's Van Dole stuff and some other stuff that's in there. You've seen some of the stuff. You haven't seen some of the other stuff. We have some really beautiful handcrafted environments built by the environment team that we have, enhanced with some of the new procedural tech. So one of the things we've been doing is some of the new developments we've been doing on the Star Citizen front, we've been bringing back into Squadron 42 to expand the gameplay. You know, I'm sorry, we just want to make the best one game we can, and if we got stuff there, we're going to use it.
Make it, Chris.
I shouldn't really apologize for that.
No.
Just do it!
Yes. Make the best game possible. Don't worry about the naysayers.
You know, we're really working for like systemic space and FPS gameplay.
I'm encouraging him.
So
One day he might watch my video, and I'm encouraging him.
So the idea is
encouraging all the other people out there who aren't citizens become citizens.
You can approach
it's awesome. We have
different
cookies.
missions different ways. So do you want to go the back door, stealth it? Do you want to go kick the front door down and guns blazing? So we're building that, and the systems are all built systemically, and it is some of the same systems that we're going to be doing in the Star Citizen. You know, we're going to, we're always going to have dogfighting in space, but now we're going to have dogfighting in planetary atmosphere, which is kind of a big deal. And we have the new tech, which I'm going to be showing you a little later on here. And we have Subsumption, which is fully systemic AI, sort of the next generation stuff, created by the genius mind of Tony Zurvek, wherever he is. I don't know, he's hiding out somewhere here. The big AI team behind it, led by Francesco Riccucci and his guys that are implementing most of it, and the designers that are doing it. But it's going to allow for being,
Star
say,
Citizen,
on
it's a family
whatever
affair.
ship you're serving on, say the
Future
Idris
Star
or
Citizen.
Bengal, and the crew's going about their day, having schedules, doing
Future
lots of
gunner or
different
pilot on my
things.
ship.
It's,
Probably pilot. She's going to have
cool.
reflexes, not me.
Silly daddy.
Right.
Silly daddy.
I'll demonstrate clicking. There you go. I'm just pretending to click.
All right, let's
they
watch.
actually do it back there. So as an update, most of our technology is now done. We have some key things still left. So Subsumption is still the major one that we're doing, just because it's this whole new thing that we're doing, and we need to continue to work on the pathfinding, because it's not just pathfinding like you would in traditional game. We have these different moving ships. So like, for instance, the Idris is moving around in space while people are moving around inside it, which is a challenge that you don't normally get in most games. And that has to work. Animation integration. So we spent all this time capturing these actors at a huge amount of fidelity, and we want to make sure that the fluidity of the animation going between actions and everything doesn't feel sort of like the typical AI, which is like this, and then it does that.
Still in
right?
progress.
So that definitely takes time. Improved combat logic in terms of the AI sort of working together,
enhanced flight AI,
integrating sort of we had sort of an older mission system, which was more traditional, the old CryEngine Crisis way, but since we've gone more systemic and we've got Subsumption, we're building another layer on top of Subsumption to be able to do an extra level of systemic sort of missions, which you'll see in Squadron 42, but then that's actually the engine that powers what we're doing in Star Citizen. It's even more flexible, and enhanced flight AI to sort of make them fly together as wingmen better, which is kind of sort of a bit about the improved combat logic. So those are all sort of things we're working on. So AI is a big thing that we really want to push to make the experience good. Object container streaming. I talked about object containers back in GamersCon and sort of how we can travel around these big star systems and bring in like really dense areas of information, objects, and then get them out. Because we can't, even if you've got a machine with a lot of memory, you can't keep it all in, you can't keep the video memory all in, so you've got to stream it in and out. And so that's a sort of technical challenge, and then we want to do some CPU and GPU optimization.
I'm trying not to hit
okay.
Forward, please. There you go. So right now where we're at in Squadron 42 is all the chapters and gameplay features are at gray box or better. So gray box is when we've had everything blocked out, all the actions done.
That's my beautiful,
we've sort of balanced it for what we think will be fun or not. But it doesn't have sort of the final assets, the final polish.
Future Star Citizen.
And things like the AI that I was talking about. We are currently taking one of
all
the
chapters and
of the
gameplay
story
features are at gray
all
box
the
or
way
better.
to what we would consider
taking
final
one chapter
shipping
to final
quality.
shipping quality
The idea would be to flush out all the technical integration and polish issues you would get with that.
For the long
and that was
term.
actually, I gave an interview, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, probably spoke too soon, and it's saying, we were hoping to show you a Squadron 42 mission, and we're not quite there yet. So we got very close. The team worked
42 today.
really hard, but we don't want to show it until we say, this is what it's going to be like in the final game with all the polish. And for our standpoint, we don't want to show something too early on Squadron 42. We want to show the final stuff. So I know that's a bit of a bummer.
Again, if they weren't taking so much flack from certain communities and certain groups that just seem to be against them, maybe they'd be willing to take that chance. But they're going to get flayed alive if they show something that doesn't look good.
Work in progress, Star Citizen, yes. I think work in progress on Squadron 42 I don't really want to do because I am accused of being a bit of a perfectionist, but it does need to be a great experience. And
make it perfect. Make it awesome.
Well, I'm hopefully gonna show you something that will make you forget what I just said. So we'll see. Maybe not, but then you can just buy me lots. You can buy me lots of drinks afterwards, or I'll drink lots of alcohol or do something. But one of the keys is that and I think Aaron said it in the video, and I feel that way. Is
sorry for the young.
We want to do it right. It's really important to do it right. What we're enabled to do by you guys is to do it right, because if we were in a typical situation with a publisher,
of course,
they would say, well, no, you've got to make the Christmas window, get it out, and and then you can patch it with some, you can do some patches, and then the DLC, and don't worry about that people won't think it's quite as polished or whatever, and it's got a bunch of bugs. And no, that's I don't think anyone, because everybody's, this is what you guys, it's what I want. I've spent all this time. You guys have obviously spent a vast amount of time supporting and being there, and let's make it right. Like, why spend? Yeah. Because you remember, I mean, look, I got to tell you, I was, there's quite a lot of things that, like, I was looking forward to Uncharted 4, and they're like, oh, no, it's going to be February. And I was like, oh, damn it. And then I played it, and I didn't give a shit that I was playing in, like, whatever it was, March instead of back in November, because it was a fucking great game. And so, sorry, pardon my French. So that's really important for us. So that's my long-winded way of saying that as much as we wanted to have Squadron 42 for this year is
as Captain America would say,
from the polish we need to do, it still needs a bit more time. But we will be showing you this final, this mission polish level in the near future. So, and I'm hoping that will be before the end of this year, but I'm not going to promise that because I get shot by people when I say that. Okay, so
what are you doing to us? We can't do it, Roberts. We can't do it.
Move on. Bam. Here we go. So 2.6 is the next thing we're doing, which has Star Marine, which is obviously a big thing, and Arena Commander updating. There's some of these things that we'll be talking about in the future sides. We have new features for Star Marine. We're doing stuff for Arena Commander. We're adding more stuff for the Crusader map. We're refactoring the lobby and the leaderboards, which we talked about on a recent ATV episode. And also we also talked about the flight model, which we're also doing. And right now, the Avocatai, I know we say it bad or wrong.
Evocati.
What do we say? Avocados? Should I just say avocados? All right. There you go. Avocados.
Evocati.
They have a version of it built on the 2.5 release, giving some feedback, and we're listening to that, and that's kind of what the power and the beauty of this community is to do. So
it's in the first
it's going to have the new music logic system
in,
which is actually pretty cool because it's a dynamic music system. That's,
and then live.
Back in the old days of Wing Commander, we had a very more rudimentary version of that.
And so a lot of people thought 2.6 would maybe launch today.
Gets you into the motion and the mode, and
that doesn't appear to be the case.
Action that you're
but
doing,
it is in test.
So I think that's actually going to be a very subtle thing that will make things better.
So it is being tested so far.
We have a sort of new camera. We've been working on the camera system.
And it should mean that it's close to the PTU.
2.6. I think that's important. I mean, I keep watching all the videos you guys do, and I'm like, okay, let's give them better tools and.
I've been invited to a few of them.
You guys make awesome videos. I mean, a lot of times we're looking at videos where we're developing going, wow, that looks awesome. Did you see this? Did you see what they did? That's great. So we're going to have that in there. And one big thing we're working on is to stop the chain loading of screens. So like you play a Arena Commander or a Star Marine game, you go back to a loading screen, do the lobby, and load again. So the idea is we won't do that. We're just going to go in there, and then there's no loading back and forth levels or anything. It's all just going to stay. You're going to go in once and there. So hopefully you'll be able to have more frequent games. So the focus for 2.6 for Arena Commander and Star Marine is to make it a really kind of fun, easy way to get in and just fly around in space and dogfight, or run around on the ground and get into sort of FPS combat, and make that sort of as polished as possible.
We want to get into FPS combat.
So Arena Commander, did I miss Star Marine? Hang on a second, let's see. Nope, there we go. So we're going to have this new virtual ship. We showed it on the ATV. So instead of like having to go to the hangar to set your ship up, in the lobby screen you can click on your ship and you can do your loadout and equip your rec items, which will make things much better and faster. We're gonna have a new pirate swarm mode in addition to the Vandal swarm. Missiles will be persistent, so you can't just like, I fire all my missiles and I crash into an asteroid to respawn with more missiles, which I think. I'm not saying everyone does it, but there's a few people that do that. We'll have sort of reloads.
If I play Arena Commanders just so I can go out and kind of try the ships and stuff,
just to sort of make it a fun,
I love this game, but I haven't gotten to play it a lot with all the other things that I'm doing. I'm wanting to get into it a lot more, which is why I'm starting kind of these videos.
Pretty much most of the ships you can fly normally in Crusader, you'll be able to fly in private matches. All right, here we go. On to the next. There we go. I swear. There you go. All right, Star Marine. There's going to be two maps you'll fight on. There'll be Station Damien, which is a smaller space station. It'll be a 4x4
4 and a 12v12.
And then there's going to be sort of a bigger sort of asteroid base, which is a 12v12, which we call Echo 11. There'll be 2 game modes. There'll be deathmatch and control, so control of areas, so you fight for control as teams.
Friendly player,
we have new armor, weapons, grenades, tactical visor, friendly player ID, which helps sometimes.
I wonder if the ability to be a medic
shoot your friends instead of your eyes.
Going to be in here.
You'll be able to loot, so like you shoot someone, you can take weapons from them or ammunition from them.
Especially in the 12v12,
we'll have
that could really add some cool
So
stuff.
it'll be both Arena Commander and Star Marine are having a lot of focus to sort of make the experience of just straight up sort of arena shooting, whether it's in space or on foot, sort of fun, quick, easy to get into, much better than what we've had to date. And I think that's kind of important so people can sort of have fun and play while we're working on this bigger epic. There we go. And so I'm just going to walk you through
the Stanton
before we get
system.
to the fun stuff.
Ooh, 3.0 is going to have the Caterpillar.
Obviously, we talked about 3.0 back at GamesCon, which is sort of the first kind of, you would consider.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's,
the cat's going to finally be available.
The final game's going to be, but a lot of games.
Of course, the Ursa rover, because we need to be able to drive around on
which
planets.
is, going to have trading, cargo, piracy,
the constellation Aquila.
That's
cool. That's the science-based constellation.
Get the Stanton system.
The exploration
in there fleshed out. It's going to be using the Planet V2 technology, which I'm going to show you very shortly after I've gone through these slides.
Who has the
which I think you guys are going to like.
We should give everyone who has the Carrack the
in
constellation
we'll have
Aquila
we'll
until
have
they
things like the
create the
rover
Carrack.
and the dragonfly, who you
That would
saw
be
a little
cool.
bit of at Gamescom.
They're fair.
Caterpillar, the Aquila, which you may or may not see here in a bit. Okay, so, and I want to give you a bit of roadmap after 3.0, so you know what we're doing.
Oh, wow. 3.1
I guess there's a lot of minors here.
Additional solar system locations. Wow.
So 3.1, and just also, by the way, in case you haven't noticed it, I know last year we said, well, we're going to do a release. We're going to try to do a release every month. After going through this year, we've sort of realized that that's a very hard cadence to do, because by the time you get new content in and you start testing it and get feedback,
what is quantum interdiction?
It's almost impossible to
interdict someone who's in quantum travel to pull them out of it.
And do the feedback. So I would say that our cadence on releases, which is what you've seen in the last few releases,
if you got a Starfarer,
like 2 to 3 months
3.1, you'll be able to do refueling.
So just to give expectations, because I don't want to go through 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and 3.4, and everyone goes, okay, we're going to get that in 4 months. Because again, we'll get shot by everyone on the development side. But anyway, so 3.1 is going to have mining. We're going to have refining and processing. We're going to have quantum interdiction, which means you'll be able to wait and pull people out of
3.0. They're hoping to have by the end
travel,
of the year.
Whether it's AI,
which means 3.1 will be early next year.
Escort.
3.2, 3.4
we're going to add additional locations to
3.2, 3.3.
And
summer,
we're going to have the new Drake ships. Well, we're basically.
But they're getting a lot of the stuff in there. Additional solar system locations.
In the new way we do ships. The Miss Coal Sea for trading, the Prospector for mining, and the Origin 85X, which was this kind of cool cruiser that was with the 890 jump. And if you already have an 890 jump, of course you will get that already. The next one up would be 3.2 with repair and salvage. So we'll be able to salvage and repair.
Yes. We're gonna have the Taurus. We're gonna have the Terrapin. Wow, the Terrapin is quick. I guess it's because Squadron 42.
Again,
the Reclaimer.
Adding more locations. In Stanton and fleshing it out further.
The Reclaimer next year, salvage repair.
Finishing out the RSI ships in the new way, the Terrapin, and then the variants of the Vanguard and the Reclaimer, which is a beautiful ship. And
I can't wait to see the Reclaimer.
I know it's one of Nate's favorite ships, so if you know,
I had the Reclaimer. I traded it for the Carrack, but I can always get it back if I need to.
3.3.
3.3 is gonna have the Carrack.
Here's the one.
Farming Rescue, more solar system locations.
Who knew farming was so popular?
Next year is going to be awesome.
So what we're going to aim for
and the Reliant
3.3
all
is farming,
3.3.
sort of the rescue side.
I can start doing the kind of stuff I'm wanting to do there. Man,
you can hit Tony
guys.
up about all this here.
Next year is going to be awesome for Star Citizen.
Yet more fleshing out.
We're not even going to care that it's an early release game. We're not going to care the full game. Even the 3.3, that's Alpha 3.3, and we're going to have basically a full game. Plus all the Squadron 42s.
So there you go. And by the way, so once the Squadron 42, the Foundry 42 team working on the Squadron 42 ships, they're going up. They're actually all rolling. So the way we're going to do it is that our biggest vehicle team is in Foundry 42, and right now most of them are working on the Squadron 42 ships because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of Vandal ships, a lot of UEE big ships like the Bengal, the Idris, the Javelin.
Next year
so
is
they're all
going to
be an
roll
awesome
off
time
for Star Citizen. Oh my goodness!
Carrack Jump, Merchant Man,
the Carrack Reclaimer, and people are going to have to start shutting up at that point because they're going to have almost all the ships that people have paid for in the game.
Something like a Buccaneer.
I have a Carrack. Like I said, I had a Reclaimer, and depending on how salvage plays out, I may go back to that.
So that's what we're going to have with 3.3.
Like I said, I wanted to kind of be a newsman.
4.0.
Jump around and do newsman.
So this is
next year, the Crucible. That's weird though that they're doing repair
that'll be the first
in 3.2, but they're not doing the Crucible until 4.0.
Stanton to other star systems.
Interesting.
I'm not going to say how many star systems yet. Depends how much we'll be able to build with our content pipeline, which we'll show you a little bit.
So exploration and discovery at 4.0.
Which,
so
but
end
we're
of
very
next
focused
year
on,
to
and you've seen some of the ATV, how to author star systems at the quality level that we like.
2018.
With the sense of lore and art and character and history.
But they're going to give you so many things to do. You're just not going to care anymore that there's every time you're going to get new stuff. It's going to be like an early access game. It's going to have enough content that people have to shut up that it's coming because the rest is going to be coming. And we'll be busy playing these other parts.
We need to be a bit faster.
It's not going to be any different than like playing Ark Survival.
But we will have 4.0 is when you will be able to jump to other star systems. Exploration and discovery will be sort of highlight there for obvious reasons. Science and research, and the RSI Orion and the Crucible will be two of the big ships that we will be doing there. So that's the roadmap for Star Citizen. So, and our goal is this is the
most
roadmap.
Complete roadmap we've seen in a long time.
Over next year. Again, please don't hold me to dates because everyone goes, "Why did you say that, Chris?" I'm like, "Oh." Anyway, it's always best laid plans.
Because he gets flayed alive. He's making one of the biggest, coolest games.
Now we're going to get on to
that I've ever seen.
What we talked about. So it's demo time.
Procedural Planets V2.
So this, at Gamescom we showed you flying between locations, and that was our sort of V1 planetary tech. And I said that we have this V2 tech that you're not seeing. It's a whole nother level beyond what we were showing you.
Sweet.
And the goal really is to sort of deliver that crisis level quality down on the ground, walking around, driving around, but on a global scale, right? So like most of these games, you look at Battlefield, you look at any of the sort of typical FPS, so the Frostbite engine, what CryEngine does, I mean, they do beautiful stuff, but it's all limited to, 2 by 2 kilometers or 4 by 4 kilometers, or maybe if you're lucky, 16 by 16 kilometers. So for us, we want to have that level of quality but on a planetary scale. And that is a big, big ask. The team in Frankfurt who have mostly been leading this are a lot of the guys that built CryEngine in the first place, and they are brilliant. And this has also been supported by a lot of the teams from the other studios, because a lot of our environment and the art and the content and the assets come from other places. But we are going to show you here, I'm going to show you
Procedural Planets V2, yes!
A demo set in a planet. Now, we took a planet not necessarily that's in Stanton, because we wanted to have something that had more diverse ecosystems to sort of show you what the tech can do. And so this is the first time we're showing the tech publicly. Of course, like everything we do, it's going to get better and better. But it's a completely new terrain system. It seamlessly supports the sort of spherical terrain at planetary scale. So, most terrain systems are flat, whereas this, it's a planet, it's round, and you can go around every side, and the gravity and everything works. And the horizon line is the actual real horizon line. If you see something, you can walk to it. There is no cheating at all on it. It's all.
Oh my goodness!
I know it's hard
cool.
to believe it's not faked. I know. It's kind of like the moon landing, really. Anyway, but everything's everything's generated at runtime, because you can't have this amount of data in there, and it's amazing. And actually, when we show the demo, I think we've set it up so you can sort of see the frame counter, because what the guys have done there, the game logic and the code and simulation slows everything down. Their actual engine generating the
Imagine when they get this on VR.
Is incredibly fast. So
they are going to support VR. They've already
right,
said that. They're going to support Oculus and Vive, at least. There may be other ones by then.
It's still going to be very fast, but you'll see the frame kind of drop when the game stuff starts happening, when you're moving around and stuff.
But they are going to support VR. So
I mentioned there's no view distance.
Awesome.
It's artist-driven. So we and over here, I'm going to have Sean and
they had VR
Simon,
support at one point.
In a bit, we'll do a bit more of a deep dive after I've shown you this particular demo.
Because they're waiting for CryEngine
to talk a little about it, but longer term,
now we'll see how they implement
ATV
it.
episode for Frankfurt.
Imagine getting to play the game with touch or Vive controllers and being able to reach out and touch buttons
Was that
inside.
Brian saying Frankfurt? All right.
Oh my
Just
gosh,
checking. That voice sounded familiar to me. But the key is that it's absolutely artist driven. So we're using the procedural techniques, and we're using all this stuff to just basically author planets at a global scale very quickly, but to give it real sense and character. Because
that's louder in the mic than I expect.
Obviously there's quite a few other games using sort of procedural tech to do planets, and I have to say that as technical achievements are all like really impressive and cool and all the rest of the stuff. But for me, I want to sort of be able to say, I want to build this, planet that looks like Hoth, and I want to build this planet that looks like Tatooine, right? I want to have the sense, and I want to be able to control it. And so the big key for the tech we were doing was to have it sort of artist-driven with the procedural technology enhancing what the artists do. And so that's what we're going to show here. The other aspect of it, because it's not just about procedural artist tools, we're also trying to think about how we're creating content for this universe so you can explore and adventure around. And it's not just the interactions with the other players, but we have a rich world that's sort of going on, and there's missions that you can sort of stumble across, or AI are doing things. And we showed at Gamescom sort of an example of coming across a space wreck. You have to retrieve a black box from a destroyed Starfarer. And what we're planning to do is have sort of a combination of sort of the simpler missions, which are mostly generated, like, oh, well, this location needs this kind of mineral, so they're creating a job for someone to bring it to them, or go and fight the pirates that are getting in the way of the trade lanes. And then there's the sort of more in-depth stuff, which we sort of showed with the Miles Eckhart mission in the Gamescom demo. And what we're showing here is sort of the version of that was more planetary focused, where we build different building blocks, and players could come across it and do it. To have a rich living world that they're going to adventure around. And so that's sort of the missions that sort of have these scripted blocks that sort of can procedurally sort of connect to each other and have maybe different situations or outcomes depending on what's happening. And that's something that Todd Pappy, who's not here today,
that's what I'm interested in the most on the missions,
Tony
because
are very
the Miles
big on,
Eckhart
and I think
mission
it's
actually
really
seemed
cool.
kind
So,
of like,
having said that, we are going
we're
to go to
here's the mission. It's
demo.
like a
I don't
scripted
think-
normal
let me see if there's
MMO
a
mission.
Screen here.
And My understanding was that if, like,
let's
if
go
I went and got a
down.
mission and you
Yeah,
came
let's
to
go
the same guy,
down,
you're not going to get
and
the
we will
same
start the
mission.
demo. This is all 100% live in the
we're
engine.
We're going to get different missions
in real
because
time.
he's not going to assign two people to the same job
go.
unless he's going to pit us against each other. Of course, that would be cool. Just opening up to all comers, whoever gets there first, then they have to fight each other. We're going to have more planets in 3.0. Again, this is supposed to be here at the end of the year, before 2017. And then 2017 is going to be a crazy awesome year for Star Citizen. All those ships coming, oh my goodness. Gonna be awesome. Let's see more ships. Lear. So we're zooming in, and we're moving. Still getting 100 frames per second. 9,900. With CryEngine. High settings. I don't know what they're running on. They're probably running on the Titan X. If I had to guess. I'd love for them to tell me, no, this is on a 970 or a 980 or a 1070. Trees. It almost looks kind of African savanna type area. It's awesome. Still great FPS. Frames per second. Still higher than 60. Way above 60. 83. It's the lowest I've seen so far. Of course, if this is running on a Titan X, then it's going to have a low frames per second on a lesser machine. Look at that off to the right, though. Look at that planet. Just up there. That's just awesome. I can't wait to go to a place and just take in the sights, record what's there, just, you know, maybe find the stories there that nobody else has found. Look at that coming off of there.
They missed it.
Hello, CitizenCon.
He actually says hello, CitizenCon, but you guys are all laughing when you saw the guy.
Oh, I heard him. I heard him, Chris. That's like their Mount Everest. But look at the dynamic fog. I mean, it's almost like you'd be in the mountains. You'd see, you know, the snow, the air blowing the snow, almost like fog. It's amazing. That's really cool. That like desert landscape there? Oh no, that's still the same. Now we're going around the entire planet. Yeah, entire planet. I wonder what's on Lear. Is it just for mining or? The Aquila, I think. Yep. The ship is landing.
We are.
This is all live.
Aquila.
Yes. Constellation Aquila.
Contrails.
Well, they've changed the flight scheme.
So we're heading towards the distress beacon. So the idea with this would be that, you know, you potentially could get a mission where you get a distress beacon and you're going to find out on, you know, in this particular case, this planet. So we're heading towards it.
I can't wait to see what their mission system becomes. I mean, it's fine to have all this kind of stuff right now. We go check this distress beacon, go check this comm signal, you know, blah, 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 because it just gives us missions to do while we're playing the systems.
One of the key gameplay things you want to do on, because obviously the planetary tech's going to allow us to have a whole bunch of play areas we don't normally have. Encourage players not to always, you know, maybe you can't always fly there, maybe you have to get out, use your rover, for instance. You have it. Let's go find a landing zone that's on the edge.
Oh, atmospheric conditions unsafe. So it's saying he can't land there. So he can't just go straight to the beacon. He's going to have to find a safe landing location on the planet and get his rover and go to it. Or walk. Or your dragonfly. Ride your motorcycle over there.
I'll look around, Vincent. So you're going to just concentrate on flying.
That's pretty cool. But he can't land there. Or can he? Maybe he can. Maybe where he was trying to land, he just couldn't land. I haven't seen the HUD of the Constellation in a while. Oh, got a landing pad. Is this where the beacon signal is at that he needs to hit? That's where he's going so he can see how to land.
Landing gear.
Oh, nice. I like that.
You know, it's a little compression there. We've been working on that thing for the... I know it's a small thing, but I always want to have the landing gear compressed when you land.
It's all in the details, Chris. All the details. We appreciate it. What we doing?
Right, so we're going to head out.
Oh, he's getting suited up. Oh, sweet. The lockers work now.
The armor on.
Nice.
Alright, let's get us out. Let's be nice and tidy, close the locker up, and then grab our gun just in case there's some hostiles out there. I mean, but this is kind of an example, like for instance, you shouldn't be able to sort of sit in heavy armor flying a ship. Maybe you're in your flight suit and then you go and equip your armor or your EVA suit when you need to go outside and do stuff. And so you sort of want to make it quite immersive and have different reasons to be equipping and using different stuff.
My wife just came in the room. You can't see her. She's camera shy.
So if you notice, this is the actor that we had that was in People to Planet. He's actually in Squadron 42. He plays a character called Joachim Steiger. So let's go and see the distress beacon.
The distress beacon. He found a landing
almost 3 kilometers
pad.
away over there. We get our scope out. All right, so let's figure out how to get there since we can't fly. So, handily, we've got the Constellation Killer, so we have...
It's got Aruba. How's he going to get off the platform? I guess there's an elevator or something somewhere.
So, you know, you saw the Constellation Killer commercial a while ago. We are now doing this in the game, in real time. Awesome.
Nice. Oh, sweet. I love the animations. I love the animations in this game. I just love what they're doing. This is so awesome. I love you, Star Citizen. It's cool. He's got to find a way down. He's got to find a way down from whatever this is. Oh, it's like an abandoned station. That'd be cool if you could go in it. Like in the station. He's going to have to jump. Is he going to jump? Jump. Oh, it's alright. I thought he was going to jump. That's cool though, so it's like a little research outpost or something on this planet. I love the way the planets look. Because they look like real planets to me. Not just a bunch of stuff thrown together and crazy like a No Man's Sky. This looks like real planets to me. I haven't gotten to play with planetary landings on Elite Dangerous yet though. Theirs may look very realistic as well. But to me this just looks very, very realistic. As a planet. It's pretty cool. I wonder if we're just going to get to see this planet, but I'd love to see all the other planets as well. I don't think so. I think he just wants to show the planetary kind of mission system. But we're going to have missions in space. We're going to have missions on land. I might find a wreck to salvage on land as well as in space. Or imagine the stories. Like, I might get this distress beacon and I want to go tell the story. Why? What's going on here?
Unlike, I mean, all those mountains.
And so I'm going to go into danger just to find out the story of why.
Don't hear, but I'm sure when you guys get on.
Why that research outpost is abandoned and what happened.
People walk all the way around the planet, or they go to the mountain they see in the distance, because that is not a skybox. That is actually the proper mountain geometry that's all there, everywhere.
You just keep driving.
And that's actually the liberating thing with this tech is when
it's a real planet. You just keep driving.
Planet on a planetary scale, its level of detail, and of course you can see up close that it.
I wouldn't want to do that though.
Like looks like what you see in Battlefield 1, for instance, in the desert. They're sort of flowering.
What?
Biofrost here, letting everyone know that Geico has an award-winning app that makes it easy to manage your insurance. Russell, shower your own house. You live next door.
The water pressure's way better here.
Come on, what happened? Oh, are you kidding me? They went offline in the middle of their demo? Are they coming back? Oh, how much did we miss?
Looks like someone didn't heed the atmospheric unsafe flight warning.
That's annoying. Twitch got screwed up, guys. That wasn't me. That was Twitch. We went offline for some reason for a minute. Oh, look at that. That's cool. A crashed cutlass. That's really neat.
And if we take a look back here, you can sort of see where we came from. About 2.5 kilometers back there. And so we're heading past this rock out, this sort of canyon walls to head to the distress beacon.
It's cool, that crash ship. It's pretty cool. What were we about to get to? It looked like there was like a building or something. Maybe that was it. Maybe the cutlass was it. Sorry guys, like I said, that was not me, that was Twitch and Star Citizen's channel. Something jacked up with them. Oh well. I'll see what I missed later, I guess. Somebody was actually at the show. Star Citizen actually puts this out on the stream. Not as exciting for the space junkies who want to go and explore the Starfare and jump around with their ship and whatever, but for those of us who want to explore, this is really kind of cool. What do we find here? Going out the back.
Check out something else we had here.
Ah, they're jacking up the feet again. Come on.
A bit of breadcrumbs.
Come on, Twitch.
Orpheus, Horizon,
oh, see? So...
wonder where that came from. Right,
see, this is the kind of stuff I want to do. I want to go find the stuff. I could tell it. I could tell the story
to get to the distress beacon.
As like an archaeologist slash journalist for Star Citizen. Can't wait to do that. Can't wait to do videos and stuff. Like I'm, you know, my character in the game. I think he's about to go find a javelin. This distress beacon's been going on for a while. The thing is if he finds this, I mean, then everybody else should be able to come here and find this. It's not going to just disappear. So it seems to me that... Nomads. Ooh. They just got wrecked. Oh, is he gonna go and fight like that, or is he gonna... They look like sand people. Headshot. Look kind of like sandpaper to me. It's weird that he was shooting, but they did say that
the music changing here is all part of the dynamic music logic system.
The AI. They did say they're going to work on the AI.
And it'll start to calm down now that the combat's over.
So
right,
maybe it's not a javelin we're about to
we lost our rover. That's not so good.
Piece of a javelin, maybe. And they set it up as an ambush to draw in unwary explorers. Come on, Twitch, knock it off.
That's where the distress beacon's coming from.
I don't know, I'd already be looking at that building over there to the right. Whatever the heck that is over there.
It was a trap.
It's an escape pod.
Alright, let's see what we got around here. Conveniently, some sand nomad dragonflies.
That's nice, considering they blew up your rover. They like big bennies too. Look at that. Oh, come on, go inside the building. It's scripted for the show, so he already knows.
That shot moment. There we go.
Atmospheric conditions ensue.
Alright, we got another distress beacon we've linked to, so let's go look for that.
Doing a HOTAS.
And remember, we came all the way down from planet, all the way down here, and we're down, driving around in this level of detail. So that's kind of a big testimony to what the Proc Planet V2
cool.
stuff does.
Desert.
And the tools.
Come on, Twitch, you're killing me. You're really killing me on this one. That's annoying. Oh, sweet. Like a little oasis thing there. I love the planet. This is really cool. Guys, I'm sorry about this. This is not me. This is Twitch. Probably just too many people on the stream right now and it keeps crashing it. So I'm gonna have to watch this again at some point, but that's so sweet. Sweet! I don't know. This will be the live stream. Maybe I'll watch this again later and do the recording for YouTube and just focus on the big aspects, like the web 2.0, basically. Look at that. Look at that. Over there in the background, that big old storm. Oh, goodness. Look at that. There's lightning and everything in there.
All right,
remember, this is real. That is not.
We linked to when we activated the other escape pod beacon. So Vince, by the way, Vince is our lead QA in Los Angeles. Much better pilot than me.
Just a skybox there. That is a real storm.
So you should
he could get in
give
there.
Give your appreciation.
And
Otherwise, you'd have me
storm,
crashing into things.
Fly in the middle of it. And that's got to be on his location at some point. It's got to come get him at some point. Anybody else getting like hints of Firefly right now when they go on the planets to do different missions? I am. I'm gonna go in this game. I aim to misbehave.
Alright, escape pods, location, every class.
So, I mean, we're kind of telling the story. What story are we telling?
Yeah, and if you see up there, that's the space station.
Sweet.
And if you look closer, you can actually see the rings slowly rotate. But that is the space station we flew past on the way down. And that's kind of what the sort of tech and the 64-bit
awesome
precision for positional space gives you. we just can have this dynamic range of scale that I don't think any other game has.
That is awesome.
So all this up close detail at this level, at as high quality first person as you see in any other game, but on a global or a planetary or even star system scale. All right, so Orpheus, Horizon, black box. So we've now, between the two pods, triangulated to where the black box of the Orpheus Horizon is, which is the crashed spaceship that hopefully we'll find here.
Look at the storm. Is it coming on? I wonder if it's going to get him. Seems like it's got to at some point. He's got to run into it. If this is true planetary, you can go all the way around it, then he's got to be able to run right into it. Oh, it looks like he's got to go into the storm to get to the black box.
Vince is undeterred by the impending sandstorm.
Storm.
But seriously, the sandstorm's an example of we want to have dynamic weather on the procedural planets, and we're working to have sort of a dynamic procedural weather system, and things like sandstorms, hurricanes, various weather systems are all things that we'll model onto the planets that will add additional sort of drama and challenges for when you're adventuring and playing around. Alright, let's go check out what a piece of wreckage is. See anything? Go, like off in the distance, there's maybe the Orpheus Horizon. Oh, what's that? Hang on a sec.
Oh!
Maybe dangerous out in the desert, who knows?
Dune.
That looks like the Orpheus Horizon.
We're going for Dune. Big old worm.
But we're just gonna do it!
Oh my goodness.
And go out there.
Yeah. Go get that worm.
Yeah. I know, I gotta memorize that whole speech.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Worm, man. Oh, looks like the storm's catching up to him. He's about to go into it. Is he gonna get eaten by the worm before he even gets there? So it's for us to discover later. What happened to the Orpheus Horizon? We want to know.
There.
Yeah, I'd go in there too. I saw that big giant freaking worm.
Alright. So we showed you a crashed Starfarer. This is a crashed Javelin.
Javelin's a capital ship.
I think we'll just
crash
pop off
Javelin.
Here.
Oh, he's gonna
Still about 200 meters away. And check out where we're going.
Those guys are probably, the rest of those guys are probably drowned in there.
Yep. See.
Oh, there's
Hang
a guy
on a
there.
second. Looks like there's a sad nomad. So should we shoot him? Alright. Oh! Nice shot, man.
Got him.
Vince got cocky. He's like on the move too. Right.
Probably gonna run into some more nomads in there. Surely that's not the only one. All his buddies weren't waiting back there in the back for him. Oh, what's up with this dude laying here? Because he wasn't the nomad. The nomad was way up there. It's almost looking like Fallout at the moment. And all the adding stuff to the ship thing, eh?
Sneak up behind him. Alright.
Go ahead. Sneak.
I guess he's watching the incoming sandstorm.
I like these characters. They're all the same, but they're... I mean, of course they're all the same.
That looks like it's getting close. Okay, let's get out of here. Shit.
Oh, look at that.
Come on. Hurry up, Vince. Alright, go quick. Fucking jump.
Just ripping the ship apart.
Hang on.
That's cool. That is cool. I saw that at some point the FPS dipped down to about 50 something. Right now it's 84. Where's it gonna go? Look around. Oh, pass by. It's done. That was awesome.
Alright, that's not good. We just lost our way in. Alright, let's see here. That's where the black box is. Oh, hang on a sec. Is it nomad? Oh, shit. Alright. That's where the black box would be. So let's see if let's find a way out.
They stuck. Oh, because the windstorm blew their bridges away. So they had no way to get out the same way they came in.
And we put our little thing here. We can go to where our rover was, and that's where we were, the Connie up there, which is probably about, I think, 8 or 9 kilometers away.
Did he do the black box thing already, I guess? I guess so. You hear stuff going on. Like, what's that going on in the background? Uh-oh.
One nomad.
Ooh, a lot of them coming in. Ooh, a whole gang of them. Ooh.
Maybe that's not such a good idea.
I made it disappear.
That's the end.
He made it disappear. That was cool. What do you launch away in? That's still his character. I don't remember.
How did it? Okay, that's the first time it's ever done that. But you get to see the pull-out twice now. How did it go to the console? Did you hit a key or did
Gigantic evil worm. And the pull-out. That's awesome. Look at that planet. That's some awesome stuff. Star Citizen. See, you want to be a Star Citizen? Join up. You want to be one? Check out my YouTube channel when this is all done, and I'll put my code there so that you can get some extra UEC when you join it. 5,000 extra UEC.
that was a demonstration of the what we can do with the procedural planet V2 technology. Let me just go to the next slide. So we're going to, I'm going to hand it over to Sean Tracy, who's our technical content director.
All right, I'm going to have to end the live stream.
Simon Vickers,
I'll come back and
who is
do
a
this,
senior designer in Planet 42.
When I can just
and we're going to sort of open up the curtain a little bit. They're going to get in the editor, and they're going to sort of zip you around the planet we built for this, which will be a planet that will be in Star Citizen eventually. It's just not the Stanton system. And so I can kind of show you some features behind
just checking out
it,
Verging
and
Reality.
then there'll be a deeper dive done by the German office. So I'll hand you over shortly. And I have to say that that last